Respect. Nitrogen Your Love Respect page. I hope all is well in your end. I hope you have a good remainder week. To the genuine ones only, like, comment, and subscribe. I truly appreciate your time. Yo, hello to the person in the back. Yeah, you. Hello, how you doing? Do me a favor. We all do that drama over here. Return back to sender. It's just that simple. Hello. Save it for your mama. Hello. Bye-bye. Why you over here? Make you so mad. Hello? Make it make sense? Ma'am, sir. Nobody sent you over here but yourself. It's the thought process for me. Yo, what's wrong with people? Now, for real, what the fuck is wrong with people? Yo, it's the thought process for me at the end of the day. You know when you tell somebody don't fucking play with you at the end of the day, you mean what the fuck you say what you mean. But you don't mean in a way like, yo, I'ma beat you the fuck up, I'ma bring harm to you, but I mean what the fuck I said, when I said what the fuck I said, like stupid shit like this. Yo, if you a nurse, or you work in the medical field at the end of the day, I want you to be very transparent with me at the end of the day. I want you to be so real with yourself. Don't psych yourself out to your own thought process. Please don't do that. No, 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 no. But be real with yourself right now when it comes to your job description. And when it comes to your job description, I believe safety is first when it comes to your consumer, right? That comes to your facility. If it's a doctor's office, if it's a fucking hospital or not. If it's a medical field facility, I want you to be real with yourself right now. Tell me if this shit is acceptable. No, for real, for real. Let me know if I'm bugging the fuck out. No, for real, for real. Hello, person in the back. Come here. I gotta ask you something. No, for real, for real. Hold on. Here's the thought process to me. All right, so your consumer, right? Coming to your office. They're minding their motherfucking business, as they should. Regardless if you're trying to get their attention or not. Somebody that you don't know, a stranger in the street, comes to you and says, hey, I'm transportation today. It could be any fucking body. Hey, I'm looking for this fucking person. Listen, listen, listen. Listen to the directions I'm saying right now. Listen, listen. The person says, well, I'm not getting a response from this person, right? And you go out your way, you go above and beyond out your way to give that person a telephone number you don't know that this person does not have. But to come to find out, you didn't know, but now you fucking know. And now you got to reevaluate your thought process. Check this shit out. So the person comes to you like, hey, I can't get in contact with this person. Can you call them? They say, yeah, no problem. I'll call them for you. Instead of them calling themselves, right? You, the person that's supposed to be at work, supposed to be minding your business, doing your job, and making sure that your consumer is safe, right? You decide to go on the fucking computer, right, and give the consumer's telephone number to that stranger. Is that not a safety problem at the end of the day? And then one of your colleagues manipulate the situation and say, well, that's the telephone number that's on file. When you're trying to explain to them like, yo, homegirl, homeboy, that's not the telephone number that's on file for these people. Regardless, at the end of the day, if it was transportation or not, was you supposed to go above and beyond for your job to give a stranger in the street that came in a building where you work at one of your consumers' telephone number out of their file? If you really wanted that person's attention at the end of the day, would you have not picked up the phone yourself and called the consumer yourself and say, hey, your transportation is here? And then when the consumer addresses the situation, you motherfuckers try to manipulate the situation like, oh, well, that's the telephone number that's on file. When at the end of the day, you're not fucking realizing what the fuck you just did was fucked up. Who the fuck told you to go into the fucking computer and give a stranger in the fucking street the consumer's telephone number? Please make it make sense, ma'am, sir. Regardless, at the end of the day, if the person has the number or not, let's make it make sense. Was you supposed to go in the fucking computer and take that consumer's telephone number and give it to a stranger in the street, regardless if it was transportation or not? Physically give a telephone number to someone. And they don't even have the telephone number. Regardless if they had the telephone number or not, was you supposed to do that? I thought safety first. And then you guys sit there and manipulate the situation and say, you know what? Well, that's the telephone number that was on file. That's the telephone number we gave them. What you not understanding at the end of the day, if I'm fucking explaining to you, like, yo, ma'am, sir, that motherfucker don't got my telephone number. Why the fuck is you giving my telephone number to somebody that I don't even fucking know? That's a stranger on the street. Then y'all sit there try to manipulate the situation and say, oh, we just wanted to make sure you get home safe. Oh, okay. Nobody sees it's the thought process for me, right? Anybody can walk into a fucking building and say, hey, my name is John Jay, okay? And I want to pick up this person today. Anybody can say that. It's the thought process for me at the end of the day. That the fact that you can sit there and play in somebody's motherfucking face when they're trying to stand up for themselves, regardless if they disabled, elderly, don't matter the culture they skin, the color they skin, or they culture at the end of the day, or they sexual orientation at the end of the day. I thought safety first when it comes to a consumer. Hello, you work for the fucking public at the end of the day. Make it make sense. So now something, God forbid, something was to have happened to that person, right? You know who's responsible? You are. So you mean to tell me you gonna say to the judge or the police is, well, I thought it was transportation. That's why I gave the telephone number and I thought they had the telephone number. That's what you gonna say that's what you gonna tell the police, right? And then when you tell these folks like, yo, I got too much motherfucking dirt on y'all. Don't fucking play with me. These motherfuckers taking your energy as, yo, you're threatening somebody's life. Which you're not. You playing with somebody's safety at the end of the day. That could be anybody's aunt, grandmother, mother, sister, brother, father. It don't matter. Safety first at the end of the day. If somebody comes into your facility and you don't fucking know them, they can say they the police. They can say they fucking FBI. They can say they fucking God. At the end of the day, you don't fucking go into no fucking computer and give a fucking stranger a consumer's telephone number that's in your fucking facility. At the end of the day, anybody can walk into your facility. You're basically saying that you will give that person's information up with no problem. They can say they anybody at the end of the day. Like, make it make sense. Like, we live in a fucking fucked up world right now, and it's getting even more fucked up. And you mean to tell me that anybody can walk into this fucking facility and say somebody's fucking name and you will give them their fucking information? Like, damn, that's fucked up at the end of the day. And then when somebody speaks up for themselves, they're fucking wrong. Like, make it make sense at the end of the day. And manipulate the situation when a person speaks up. They doing too fucking much at the end of the day. Like, ma'am, sir, do you not understand what I just fucking said to you? That telephone number that was in your fucking computer, that motherfucker don't have it. Why the fuck is you giving my information out to a stranger at the end of the day? So you basically telling me the information that I have in the fucking computer that's mine at the end of the day is not secure. That's what the fuck you telling me. Am I wrong? Am I right? Please, somebody make it make sense at the end of the day. And then the person gonna say this. The person, right, that gave the telephone number out to that stranger, when somebody said, I'm going to report you at the end of the day, her colleague, your colleague, right? Your colleague, right? Gonna say, oh, if you report me to the state of New York, you know what's gonna happen to you? What's gonna happen, ma'am? Oh, you can't get services here no more. First of all, you're not a fucking doctor. First and all, you're not a fucking doctor. You're just the person that work at the fucking front desk. So at the end of the day, for you to tell a consumer, at the end of the day, they cannot get services somewhere, when they're not reporting a fucking doctor, they're reporting the front desk. That's two fucking different departments. That's two different barcodes when it comes to the state of fucking New York. At the end of the day, you want to fucking get technical at the end of the day. Safety first, motherfucker. Because at the end of the day, that person office that is, they fucking responsible for what the fuck happens within that facility. And being that they're responsible and they got employees like you that try to psych someone out their fucking thought process and think this shit is cool. And as soon as a person speaks up for themselves and say, yo, don't play with my life type of shit, they're fucking wrong. They're fucking wrong. And then the motherfucker gonna say, oh, well, let's call the person. What the fuck are we calling the person for at the end of the day? I didn't have fucking transportation, motherfucker. Make it make sense at the end of the day. I'm trying to fucking explain something to you without trying to explain something to you at the end of the day. That's a stranger in the street. I shouldn't have to explain any more further at the end of the day. Regardless if a person has transportation or not. Don't fucking try to psych me out my fucking thought process, motherfucker. Then you're gonna say, oh, I have a doctor's degree. I don't understand. Don't play with my intelligence. Nah, motherfucker. Respect is respect and disrespect is disrespect. That's two fucking things, different things at the end of the day. Two different things. Ain't got shit to do with a degree. Respect is respect and disrespect is disrespect at the end of the day. And if you feel some kind of fucking way, you need to reevaluate your crew. And I say that shit respectfully. Ain't nobody threaten you. Ain't nobody disrespect you. No shape or form at the end of the day. It should be no reason why somebody should go into your facility at the end of the day and have to worry about their fucking safety at the end of the day. Ma'am, sir, make it make sense. And then when they speak up for themselves, they're fucking wrong. And somebody try to manipulate the situation as they didn't say something. Like, make it make sense. Ma'am, sir, hello. It's the thought process for me at the end of the day. I never saw no shit like that in my fucking life. And as I checked, from a lot of people that I know, they said at the end of the day, that shit is not supposed to happen. Regardless to what fucking environment you in at the end of the day. Nobody's supposed to walk up to somebody with their personal information like, yo, can you call them for me? Fuck calling them at the end of the day. If you can't get in contact with them, you fucking can't get in contact with them at the end of the day. Make it make sense, ma'am, sir. Safety first. Safety first. And you know what's so crazy? You felt so comfortable speaking in your language. And I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I don't do discrimination at the end of the day. But for that person to speak to you in your language and you felt so comfortable, small talk, just to get that information out of you at the end of the day, and you gave the person somebody's telephone number that they don't have. And then you sit there and try to manipulate the situation and say, oh, well, if the person has transportation, we have to call them. It's one thing you physically calling yourself, the office, calling somebody, picking up the phone like, hey, you got transportation, motherfucker? Come on now, come on up. The price is right. Get out of here. Have a good day. Nah. First of all, nobody had transportation with that person. That's first and foremost, okay? Regardless at the end of the day. And that's the God honest truth. So for you to go into your computer and give someone's information to a stranger on the street, that's a problem. And the first thing you say is, well, but it was transportation. How do you know that was transportation? That could have been anybody off the street. You're playing with my safety at the end of the day. So when I say don't play in my face, I mean what I said. Because you're playing in my face. That's playing in somebody's face at the end of the day. When it comes to their safety. Like I said, it don't matter what degree you have. How much money you have. At the end of the day, respect is respect and disrespect is disrespect. And I said what the fuck I said. Don't play in my fucking face. It's just that simple. Make it make sense, ma'am, sir. If you're a nurse or a doctor, right? Regardless if somebody can come to your office and say they transportation or not. You can say they're the pizza person. You mean to tell me you're going to go into your computer, your physical computer, where you put your password in every time you clock in, you log in to your computer, right? Your assignment. You mean to tell me that you're going to take that consumer's telephone number out of that computer and physically give it to a stranger? It don't matter if it's transportation or not. You mean to tell me that you're physically going to go into a computer, somebody's telling you I can't get access to this person. They're telling you I can't get access to them. Can you reach out to them? So you don't physically pick up the phone yourself and like, hey, you don't do it. You just physically give somebody's telephone number to somebody. They don't even have access to that telephone number. Regardless if they don't have access to that telephone number or not, you physically just gave somebody's telephone number to a stranger in the street. Tell me something's not wrong with that. Wow. You know, that could be anybody at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. That could be anybody. And then for somebody trying to manipulate the situation, that's dangerous. And then you say, you know what? All my people gonna have my back on this to go against you. I think that's very disrespectful. Respectfully. But you didn't realize what just transpired, what is just transpiring just now. When you said, give me the telephone number so I can call that person. That's manipulating the situation at the end of the day. If I'm sitting there telling you, like, yo, that person does not have any type of affiliates with me at the end of the day. I don't know this person. It's a stranger in the street. And they honestly don't have nothing to do with you having to call them. If at the end of the day, somebody at your facility physically gave them a telephone number that they should have never had done. They should have never did that in the beginning. It was a stranger that came into your facility, and one of your staff members physically gave information to this stranger. Physically gave this information to a stranger. And nobody sees a problem with that. This is the norm. It's the norm. So anybody can walk and say, I'm transportation. Anybody can show you a bullshit ass something, I'm transportation. Yeah, I'm transportation. And then try to manipulate the situation, not knowing, realizing at the end of the day, that person doesn't have that telephone number that's in the computer. So now at the end of the day, regardless if it's not the number or not at the end of the day, why are you still giving someone's information to a stranger? Anybody can say they transportation. And then they try to manipulate the situation and say, oh, don't you get transportation? Regardless if a person gets transportation or not, why did your staff member feel like it was okay? Why did your staff member feel like it was okay to go into the computer? Go into her physical computer where she works at, her workstation. Go in the computer and give a stranger a telephone number. Why? Why did she feel so comfortable doing that? And the first thing they say is because it's transportation. So you mean to tell me at the end of the day, it's one thing her physically picking up the phone and be like, hey, transportation is here for you. To acknowledge it. But if the person knows that they don't have transportation at the end of the day and they know what's going on, they're not explaining to you detail for detail because they see the bullshit that you're trying to do at the end of the day. Like, they see your bullshit. And then when they speak up for themselves, they the problem. They keep repeating themselves. Yeah, they're going to keep repeating themselves because they're trying to figure out at the end of the day, nobody's understanding why the fuck was it okay for your employee to go into the fucking computer and physically give someone's telephone number to a stranger. Fuck if it's transportation or not, it's still a stranger. Don't matter if a person gets transportation or not. It's still a stranger. And they try to manipulate the situation and say, oh, well, it's the same number that's on file that person had. What, bitch? What, sir? What the fuck are you talking about? It's the thought process for me. No, respectfully. Like, who the fuck raised you at the end of the day? You mean to tell me that it's okay for your family members to go into a doctor's office or any type of medical facility at the end of the day, and they sit in there, a stranger in the street comes up to one of the staff members and say, hey, I got transportation for JP. I got transportation for JP. Y'all can't get JP's attention or whatever the case may be. Who gives a fuck? But if JP knows they have transportation, I'm pretty sure they're willing to go. But if a person is physically saying like, yo, I can't get in contact with somebody, or can you help me? They come into your desk asking you that, and you just give this person's telephone number to this stranger. This is the norm. Regardless if the person has transportation or not, this is the norm. Make it make sense at the end of the day. Safety first, that's what I thought. But now, you know what? It's funny, damn if you do, damn if you don't, speak up for yourself. They're gonna feel like they gonna fucking disrespect you when they feel like it anyway, right? That's crazy. Make it make sense. And last I checked at the end of the day, that's not a doctor. That's the front desk. That's not a doctor. Shorty who do paperwork, that's not a doctor. So if somebody wants to report her at the end of the day or report him at the end of the day, for their lack of work, their behavior on the job, they can do so. And you cannot tell that consumer at the end of the day that they cannot come back to that facility. No, the fuck you can. No, you can't. That's against the law at the end of the day. Respectfully. They didn't fucking report the doctors. It's one thing when you report the doctors. The doctor can say, you know what, don't come to my facility. But it's when it's the people in the front desk that do paperwork at the end of the day, you that threatened, then the person gonna be going back and forth with you with words talking about, oh, well, if you report her, you can no longer have services here. Then for the head person just to say, you know what, who said that? Your staff member said that was okay. Your staff member, the one who feel like she has control issues, the one who feel like at the end of the day, I say and it's what goes. Because it's been a lot of that going on at the end of the day. A whole lot. But then when you speak up for yourself, you wrong, because it seems like the person at the front desk that has more, that she feels like she got so much power, like she's God or something, that she gonna control the narrative. And that shit is dangerous. You playing with somebody's life at the end of the day. You wouldn't want somebody playing in your face, let alone your child's face. At the end of the day, respect is a two-way street, respectfully. Ain't nobody disrespect you. Ain't nobody was aggressive to you. Like, make it make sense at the end of the day. Why are you so threatened by somebody's energy because they speaking up for themselves? Gonna talk about, well, okay, well, whatever. Like, what? You at work. Make it make sense at the end of the day. You're at work. And one thing I don't gotta do is lie. For what? Who? Who you? You ever had to reevaluate yourself if you haven't been in a doctor's office or facility or something, and they just move weird, and you check them without being disrespectful at the end of the day, but you voice your opinion so they can hear you? Like y'all playing too much at the end of the day, and you playing in the right person's face at the end of the day? Hello, ma'am, sir. Know your worth. Know your worth, know your worth, know your worth. Don't allow somebody to take out your thought process because they're miserable. Nah, for real, for real. Or they don't want to do their job at the end of the day. Make it make sense. Make it make sense at the end of the day. Because that was really unacceptable. Extremely unacceptable. Just for the head doctor, the person who's in charge of the facility, to say, who said that? My employee said that? Yes, sir, your employee said that. They shouldn't have said that to you. Oh, we know that. I didn't say I was going to report to you. I didn't say I was going to report your doctor's information. I said I was going to report that person. That person does not even work in the back with you. As far as doctors, they ain't got nothing to do with no doctor at the end of the day. That's front desk. Front desk is totally different. Two different departments. Two different departments. Compared to a doctor's. A doctor and front desk. Two different fucking departments. Said that was unacceptable of her to say that to you. You see how people in power, they feel like they in power because somebody gives them a title on a job at the end of the day, and they feel like they could talk to people any kind of way at the end of the day. And just to reevaluate their thought process, they can't. But then when I mention other stuff that transpired within transpiring, if I bring up shit, you'll be real mad. You'll be big, big mad. So what I said what I said? Yeah, don't fucking play with me. I meant what the fuck I said when I said what I said. I ain't disrespect nobody, yo. That's crazy how people move, bro. It's crazy. How, at the end of the day, us, the people, supposed to be safe when we go into facilities like this. We supposed to be safe. You know what pissed me off the most is that somebody that can have dementia or, have mental problems or, have memory problems or something, that you mean to tell me that it's okay for you to move the way you move, and that's unacceptable because now you have to answer to somebody, God forbid something was to happen. This is the thought process for me at the end of the day. And then you sit there try to manipulate the situation and say, oh, well, that's the same telephone number in the computer, when you don't even know what the fuck you even talking about at the end of the day. What same number in what computer? You physically just gave somebody's information to a stranger. You fucking idiot. A whole stranger. Like, make it make sense at the end of the day. Nobody's comprehending the fact that this fucking person went into the fucking computer and physically gave information that had nothing to do with their job description to go above and beyond, and they shouldn't have did that. To give a stranger in the street someone's information. So you mean to tell me that anybody can walk in here and just get anybody's information? That's what you're telling me. Somebody could say, hey, I'm God, I'm the pizza person, I'm the Chinese person, I got food, I'm the delivery person, I'm this person to this person, I'm this person to this person, and y'all would sit there and believe that. Yo, for real, no disrespect, no shape or form, but when you show up to work, do your fucking job. Just do your fucking job. It's not difficult to do your job and stay in your fucking lane. And leave fucking innocent people alone within your process. And no, for real, like, make it make sense at the end of the day. It should be no reason why you should be disrespecting somebody within your process because you don't love yourself or respect yourself. No, for real. And the controlling issues, yo, that shit is real. That shit real. Somebody gave you a position to be at work. They paying you to do a job. They not paying you to disrespect the public. And that's supposed to be somebody's brand at the end of the day. It's a whole lot of shit a person can say about y'all. It's so crazy. A whole lot of shit a person can say about y'all. Y'all ever been to one of those type of facilities where it's just like, yo, damn if you do go here, damn if you don't go here. You're not here to start drama with nobody, but it's always some bullshit going on when you go to these type of fucking facilities. Like, it's always some stupid shit. It's always that one fucking person, and you don't pay them no fucking mind. Like, you could be telling them what day of the week that you're rescheduling your appointment for, or you could be telling them what day to set an appointment for, and they'll be sitting there like with a whole fucking attitude for no fucking reason. Like, ma'am, sir, I didn't ask for this shit. At the end of the day, fuck your thought process of me. At the end of the day, just give me my fucking papers so I can go about my fucking business. Like, I'm out here to make a project out of this shit. Like, make it make sense. It's a thought process for me at the end of the day. Yo, safety first. When you at work, follow your job description. Respectfully, do your job. All that extra going above and beyond at the end of the day, especially when you're trying to bring harm to somebody's life, yo, make it make sense at the end of the day. Safety first. Make it make sense at the end of the day. Silly rabbit, I said what I said. Never allow someone to psych your thought process because they're miserable. Never allow someone to psych you out of your freedom because they're miserable. Never allow someone to psych your thought process because you genuinely love yourself in a healthy way. Loving yourself is not a crime. Yo, check this out. Never allow someone to psych your thought process because they genuinely judging you by your. They judging you. Never judge a book by its cover. Never judge a book by its cover, and I say that shit respectfully. Never judge a book by its cover. No shape or form. It should be no reason why somebody's going into your facility as a human being to get service and for you to give any personal information to anybody. It don't matter who the fuck it is. It don't matter. It's respecting. It's a respecting. Like, make it make sense at the end of the day. Because if you physically want to have that, if you physically want that person to get in contact with somebody, the same way you picked up the same way you went in the computer to give the telephone number to that person or whatever information you gave to that person, that stranger, you should just pick up the phone and call yourself. If that was the case, you did too much. You did too much. Respectfully, you did. Playing with somebody's safety, man. Make it make sense at the end of the day. You playing with somebody's safety. And then the first thing y'all want to do is play victim. And now realizing at the end of the day, yo, that shit would have fell on y'all. It really would have. Because that person didn't have that telephone number. They really didn't. That's the crazy part. They really didn't. Safety first. Just because someone gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because someone overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. Your life matters. You are genuinely loved by all the right people. You are genuinely respected by all the right people. You deserve to be treated with respect 365 days with no malicious intention to bring harm towards yourself or others around you. Respectfully. Now you genuinely love, respect. Love yourself, love yourself. Love yourself, love yourself. I appreciate your time. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Genuine Ones Only. Have a good remaining day.